Have you ever been in that moment, that particular moment in a relationship, where the air just sort of thickens?
Hmm.
The room gets a little quieter, and then you hear those three simple words, "Can we talk?"
Oh, yeah.
Instantly, your stomach does a little flip, right?
Yeah.
That nervous energy, that feeling that something, well, something serious is coming.
Absolutely. It's almost like a universal code. That phrase, I mean, as straightforward as it sounds grammatically, it
Right.
often carries this unmistakable weight. It signals, okay, this isn't about, what's for dinner.
Definitely.
It's about something important, maybe a shift, maybe an issue. It's like a little pre-warning flag.
And that's exactly where we're going today on this deep dive. We're kind of pulling back the curtain on the delicate, sometimes, let's face it, dramatic world of romantic relationships.
Mhm.
We're focusing specifically on the subtle language we use and, crucially, the indispensable roles of apologizing and forgiveness, really decoding how we connect.
And our source material for this, it's quite a unique mix, actually. We've got insights from an English language lesson that really breaks down everyday phrases in romance. And
Interest.
we've combined that with some deeper analyses on what makes an apology really sincere and that whole, often tough journey of forgiveness.
So our mission today, for you listening, is to pull out those surprising bits of knowledge, help you grasp the subtle meanings in relationship talk, and uncover some actionable insights,
Mhm.
things that can help strengthen connections,
Yeah.
navigate conflict,
Mhm.
and honestly, not just in romance, right? But across pretty much all our interactions.
That's the goal.
Okay, so let's get into it. Let's unpack this fascinating language layer first, starting right there with "Can we talk?"
Yep.
Our source material actually kicks off with the girlfriend asking her boyfriend that exact question. It sounds so innocent, doesn't it?
Mhm.
Just asking for a chat.
It does, but what's fascinating, and what our sources point out, is how loaded it becomes.
Yeah.
You tend to use "can we talk?" specifically when you need to start a conversation about, well, something serious.
Right. Bad news territory, potentially.
Exactly. Potentially bad news, not, hey, I like your shirt, can we talk? It deliberately signals that the emotional stakes are higher. It sets a tone of gravity before you even say what it's about.
Okay, sticking with loaded phrases. Our material flags a really crucial distinction. One that, honestly, even native speakers sometimes mix up.
Ah, yes.
The difference between "I love you" and "I am in love with you." How subtle is that? But how huge.
It's incredibly significant, isn't it? It really gets to the heart of the type of affection we're talking about.
Yeah.
To be in love with someone, that points to strong, usually exclusive romantic feelings.
Specifically romantic.
Specifically, towards a boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. You can say, I love my parents, or I love this city, or even, I love pizza.
I do love pizza.
Huh. Right. But you wouldn't typically say, I am in love with my parents, or I am in love with pizza. That in love part carves out a very specific, intimate, romantic space.
Yep.
It defines that unique bond.
That nuance is absolutely key. Okay, now, let's consider a phrase that seems super simple. You know what I mean?
Common one.
Feels like just checking, right?
Yeah.
Like, are we on the same page here?
Yeah, in its basic form, it just means you understand me, right? But the source material does a brilliant job showing how just a little shift in your tone
Up to tone.
completely changes it. It can go from just a statement like, I'm tired of doing nothing all day here at home, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's usually sharing an experience.
Yeah, seeking connection.
Exactly. But then you add a certain inflection, maybe a bit of frustration, and it becomes a question demanding confirmation. Like, come on, Charles, you know what I mean when I say that I don't like your friends?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Different vibe entirely.
Totally. Or maybe, so the professor wasn't very clear on his instructions, so how was I supposed to do the homework? You know what I mean? It's almost rhetorical sometimes, seeking validation for your frustration or confusion. That tone shift carries so much.
It's amazing how much is packed into such everyday phrases. Okay, so following that initial "can we talk," in the dialogue example, the girlfriend then asks where this relationship is going.
Ah, the big one.
Right. That question feels heavy with a desire for certainty, clarity, maybe.
Precisely. It's fundamentally about what's going to happen or what's the future look like. And what's neat is our material points out this isn't just romantic. You can ask where my career is going if you feel stuck.
Sure.
Or where this plot is going if a movie is just confusing you. Or even, after hours in a pointless meeting, where is this meeting going?
Been there.
Haven't we all? It's that universal search for clarity, for a path forward, whatever the context. We just want a roadmap, basically.
Makes sense. And then The conversation in the example takes an even more serious turn with
Yeah.
that unfinished phrase. Maybe it's just time we.
Oof. Yeah. The hanging sentence.
It just hangs there, doesn't it? Hinting at something big, often difficult. A real turning point.
It absolutely sets the stage for a significant action. Something feels inevitable. And the sources give great examples of how versatile it is. It could be. Maybe it's just time we break up.
The difficult one.
Or completely the opposite. Maybe it's time we have a baby. A huge new beginning.
Wow, yeah.
Or even just maybe it's time we go home if a party's dragging on. The phrase itself is like a little drum roll before a major change or decision.
Our dialogue example also had that reflective bit. We've had our laughs. Points to the good times, the shared history.
Yeah, it highlights the positive memories.
But it's interesting how many ways we have to sort of sum up that shared past, isn't it?
It really is. We've had our laughs is one way focusing on the joy. But our sources mention others that paint a fuller picture. You might say, we've had our ups and downs.
Acknowledges the bumps.
Exactly. Captures the whole journey, good and bad. Or we've had our moments, which could mean significant times, positive or negative. And then there's the more direct, we've had our issues.
Right, cuts to the chase about problems.
Yeah. These phrases are like linguistic shorthand, right? They convey so much about the relationship's history in just a few words.
Okay, let's shift gears a little to the lighter side. Those little nicknames, the pet names.
Yes.
Our source talks about these and clarifies, not names for your actual pets.
Good clarification. Yes. Terms of endearment.
Beyond the usual honey or sweetheart,
Yeah.
what do the materials say about maybe the more unique ones? Or even culturally specific ones? Why do we do that?
Well, it's fascinating. You have the common ones, right? Baby, sweetheart, darling, cutie. They signal affection, closeness.
Standard stuff.
Then you get the ones the source calls amusingly cheesy ones,
Like what?
like Snookums or Honey Bunny or Sweetie Pie.
Oh dear, Snookums.
I know, right? But people even make up totally unique ones like Pooh Bear or Dumpling. And the why is interesting. They often come from inside jokes, shared moments, little quirks.
So it builds a private world.
Exactly, a private language that deepens the connection. And the cultural examples are really eye-opening. The source mentions Spanish speakers using gorda, which literally means fat,
Wait, really? As affection?
as affection. Or in French, ma puce, meaning my flea.
My flea. Okay.
It sounds bizarre out of context, but within those cultures, within those relationships, there are terms of endearment. They show a level of comfort, acceptance, maybe even playful teasing that signifies deep intimacy. It's about the shared understanding, not the literal word.
Wow. Language is just endlessly fascinating. Okay, so we've navigated the words, maybe had that can we talk moment.
Yeah.
What often needs to happen next, especially if things got tense? Our source dialogue hints at a resolution involving an apology.
All right, the apology.
But what makes an apology actually work is just saying, I'm sorry enough. What's the biggest hurdle to getting it right?
That's such a critical question. Because you're right, I'm sorry can feel so empty sometimes.
Totally.
Our sources really stress that apologizing isn't just saying words. It's fundamental to communication, to healthy relationships. And the biggest hurdle, I'd say it's moving past just saying sorry to actually showing you understand and taking responsibility.
Okay. Understanding a responsibility.
Yeah. A sincere apology demonstrates you get why what you did was hurtful, not just that it was hurtful, and crucially, that you care about the other person's feelings. Without that, well, conflicts just simmer, trust breaks down. It's essential.
That makes perfect sense. So many apologies just fall flat. If you had to boil it down, what are the absolute core ingredients? What separates a meaningful apology from just, going through the motions?
Okay, if we distill what the sources say, I think it comes down to 3 key pillars. Really nailing these makes all the difference.
Pillars. Okay, I'm ready.
Pillar 1, the mindset of responsibility and empathy. This is huge. It starts with genuinely understanding the impact. Not just saying sorry, but thinking, okay, what did I actually do? Why did it affect them that way?
So putting yourself in their shoes.
Exactly. And then taking responsibility, being honest, no excuses. The source gives that great example. Forgotten birthday. Don't say, oh, I was so busy, you should have reminded me.
Ugh, yeah. Bad move.
Right. Instead, I should have remembered your birthday. I feel terrible for forgetting. I am really sorry. That ownership, that's powerful. And part of this is the expression of regret, showing you feel bad about what happened, using phrases like, I feel offs about this, or I really regret hurting you, and crucially, delivering it with genuine tone and body language. Eye contact, softer tone, showing concern, a mumbled sorry while looking away doesn't cut it.
Got it. Mindset Understand, take responsibility, show regret, be genuine. Pillar 1, what's 2?
Pillar 2, the actionable commitment. Because words often aren't enough, right? Actions speak louder than words.
Classic but true.
So this involves offering to make things right. If you broke something, offer to replace it. Messed up at work, offer to fix it. Tangible repair. Especially if it's a recurring issue, like always being late.
No, I know people like that.
We all do. It includes a clear promise to do better. Not just, sorry I'm late again, but look, I know I've been late a lot. I value your time. I'm going to try harder. I'm setting 2 alarms, leaving 15 minutes earlier. It shows real intent to change behavior.
Okay, so tangible action and a commitment to change. Pillar 2 and the third.
Pillar 3, patience and perspective. This one's important. Our sources emphasize that sometimes an apology isn't accepted right away.
That can be hard.
It can, but the person who was hurt needs time to forgive. You have to allow them that time and space to process. Trying to force forgiveness or rushing them, it makes the apology feel insincere, like you just want it over with. You have to respect their process.
Understand, take responsibility, act, commit, be patient. Wow, that's a lot more than just sorry.
It really is. It shows the apology is an emotional commitment, not just words.
And you mentioned emotions. In romantic relationships, things are often dialed up to 11, right? Why can apologizing to a partner feel so much harder sometimes?
Because the emotional stakes are so much higher. Mistakes can feel incredibly personal, like a deeper betrayal or lack of care. So the apology needs to reflect that depth. It really has to show genuine care, love, and a serious effort to fix things.
Makes sense.
And the source material makes a really smart distinction here. It flags, I'm sorry you feel that way, as basically not a real apology.
Oh, the classic non-apology apology.
Exactly. It subtly shifts the blame. It's your feelings that are the problem, not my actions. A real apology sounds more like, I realize now that what I did hurt you and I feel terrible about that. I never wanted to make you feel this way. See the difference. It owns the action and the impact.
Big difference.
Ownership.
And again, action is key here. The source suggests, like, if you forgot an anniversary, just saying sorry might not be enough. Planning something really special to make up for it, that shows sincerity much more powerfully. Proactive repair. So it's definitely not about, like, one person winning the argument and the other having to apologize. It sounds more mutual.
Absolutely. The sources stress this. Apologies shouldn't be about winning or losing. A relationship isn't a courtroom.
Right.
Both partners need to be willing to step up and apologize when they've messed up. If it's always one person saying sorry and the other never admits fault, that creates a huge imbalance. Resentment just builds and builds.
Yeah, that sounds unhealthy. And what about timing? You mentioned patience and receiving an apology, but what about giving one immediately?
Timing is critical. The sources point out that if emotions are running really high, like mid-argument, everyone's yelling.
Probably not the best time.
Probably not. Sometimes it's actually better to let things cool down a bit, take a break, then come back and have more productive conversation when you can actually hear each other. An apology screamed in anger or given when the other person is still furious, it might just bounce off.
Right. Wait for the dust to settle.
Exactly. Ultimately, for trust to be rebuilt, for the relationship to thrive after a hurt, apologies need that follow-through. That promise to improve has to be real. Otherwise, the words just lose their power over time.
Okay, so a sincere apology is offered. Maybe after things have calmed down, it's accepted, perhaps with time. What's the next step? What allows the relationship to truly move forward after the hurt?
That next vital step, the one that really allows for healing, is forgiveness.
Forgiveness, okay.
Apologizing is crucial, yes, but our sources say it's only one part of the process. Forgiveness is what truly strengthens the bond afterwards.
And what does forgiveness actually mean in this context? Does it mean forgetting it ever happened?
Not necessarily forgetting, it's more about choosing to let go of the pain, releasing the anger, the resentment, the desire for payback, maybe. It's deciding not to let that past hurt define the present or future of the relationship. It's an act of emotional liberation, really, for both people often.
Letting go of the pain, that sounds hard.
Yeah.
Especially for really deep hurts.
It can be incredibly difficult. Forgiveness is definitely a journey, not like flipping a switch. And the sources are clear. Time is necessary for that healing.
Right, you can't rush it.
Exactly. A forced or rushed forgiveness is not real. It has to be genuine, freely given, and that requires immense patience, especially from the person who caused the hurt. They need to respect that the other person is processing, healing, and eventually, hopefully, making that conscious choice to release the burden.
And how does trust fit back in here? If you forgive someone, does trust just magically reappear? especially if it was, a major breach.
That's where it gets tricky. Trust and forgiveness are linked, but not identical. Our sources highlight that critical point again. If apologies keep happening for the same mistake,
Without any change.
without any real change in behavior, then yeah, those words lose meaning. Forgiveness becomes almost impossible because you just don't believe things will get better. Why forgive if you know it's just going to happen again next week?
Right, the pattern breaks the trust.
Precisely.
Mm.
And forgiveness, like apologies, ideally needs that mutuality. If one person is always apologizing and the other never admits their mistakes, the relationship is fundamentally unbalanced. Trust is rebuilt slowly, carefully, through consistent changed behavior. That action component we talked about with apologies, it's essential for rebuilding trust too.
Okay, this brings up a really tough question, though.
Mm.
What if? What if the other person never apologizes?
Mm.
Like they don't admit fault. Maybe they don't even see they did anything wrong. Is forgiveness still possible then? Or even advisable?
This is maybe one of the most powerful points in the material.
Yeah.
The answer is yes. Forgiveness is still possible, even without an apology.
Really?
Because in this case, forgiveness is primarily about your personal peace. It's about you choosing to move on emotionally, choosing not to let their actions or their lack of apology control your feelings indefinitely.
So it's more for yourself than for them.
Exactly. It's not about letting them off the hook necessarily or pretending it didn't happen. It's about freeing yourself from the weight of resentment and anger. It's for your own inner peace and emotional healing, even if reconciliation with that person isn't possible or desirable. It's a profound act of self-care.
Wow. That reframes forgiveness quite a bit. It's not always about the relationship. Sometimes it's about you.
It can be. And, this whole framework, the language, the apologies, the forgiveness, it's not just for romantic partners, is it?
No, absolutely not. The sources touched on this too, right?
Which I did. The importance of these skills stretches across all our connections. Think about friendships. Misunderstandings happen, people mess up. A strong friendship isn't one without mistakes.
Right.
It's one where both people can navigate those mistakes, apologize sincerely, and ultimately forgive. Holding on to grudges, that just poisons friendships over time.
So true. And families.
Same deal. Between parents and kids, between siblings, forgiveness is essential. It helps people understand each other, learn from mistakes, build stronger bonds. It teaches really crucial life lessons about empathy, responsibility, maturity. These aren't just romance skills. They're fundamental human skills for getting along with anyone.
So when we wrap this all up, what's the big takeaway for you listening? This deep dive, it really shows that getting good at the language of connection, knowing how to offer a truly sincere apology, and being able to practice genuine forgiveness, these are just fundamental parts of being human, interacting with other humans.
Absolutely. From understanding the weight of can we talk to that really profound act of letting go of hurt through forgiveness. These are the codes that build trust, deepen understanding, and repair connections.
And it's not just about the big dramatic moments either, is it?
Not at all. It's about the daily stuff, too. Small acts of kindness, taking responsibility when you slip up, showing emotional intelligence. That's what builds strong foundations in your friendships, with your family, and yes, in your romantic partnerships, too. It's ongoing work.
Okay, so here's a final thought for you to chew on as you go about your day, building on everything we've talked about. A true apology isn't just about saying words. It's about valuing the relationship more than your own pride.
That's good.
And forgiveness. Maybe that's the ultimate act of kindness. Sure, sometimes for the other person. But maybe, most profoundly, for the peace and freedom it brings back to yourself.